Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of One Pod Life. Now, this week's episode, I've been very, very lucky to get one of the top female professionals on the European tour, and her name is Carly Booth. Now, everyone knows who Carly Booth is through social media, mainly Instagram, but I wanted to talk to her about her amateur career. So we talk about her younger years, how she started playing golf, and then how she set some really big records when she was a kid. So get ready for this one, and here's Carly Booth. So, hi Carly, welcome to the podcast. As we just said, obviously, you just had your operation on your shoulder. What exactly was wrong with it, if you don't mind me asking?
It just, obviously years of training, and it's been about 10 years of just, aggravation, I guess. And I think it was just the right kind of time to just get it done with this lockdown. And, I couldn't really finish my season. So I had a cortisone injection, and that didn't really last very long. So I thought it was just the right opportunity and time to do it.
Okay.
But I still feel will be ready for the season ahead from May onwards. So
Great
at
stuff.
least I don't feel I'm going to miss a year out.
Well, yeah, at least you haven't got the sling on anymore as well, so you can move it around
I know.
a bit.
I had that on for 4 weeks, and I had to sleep with it as well, which was horrific.
I can bet. Okay, so what I want to talk about really is obviously everyone knows Carly Booth, the professional golfer, but not many people know about your amateur career, I can imagine. And that's kind of where I want to go with my podcast, is talking to people about their journey into how they become a professional golfer. And then towards the end, any tips they can give to people that are trying to be a professional golfer as well. So let's start with, how did you get into golf? When did you start? How old were you? And who got you into it?
Well, my dad and my older brother got me into golf.
Okay.
I grew up on a farm. My dad built like a bit of a golf course in our garden. So for my brother originally, but
Okay.
then that grew. He was Olympic wrestler. So
Okay.
we have a gym at the house too. So I think we were just born to play sport.
Yeah, it was ideal.
So obviously my dad's quite a bit older, so he retired pretty much before I was born.
Okay.
And so just from there, just going out into the garden and stealing my brother's clubs, and I think that was just how it kind of grew from there.
Okay.
I got my first handicap when I was 8.
Right.
I did all sports, gymnastics, swimming, but I think I got kind of at a high level in so many sports that you kind of have to then make a decision which one it is that you're wanting to pursue. At this point, my brother also decided golf between football and wrestling. So I thought, I'll do the same.
Okay.
I stood out a bit more in golf because there was less girls, I think.
Yep.
So that's probably why it interested me more.
Okay.
And then from there, just, that was it. From really 10 years old, my dad took me all over the country. I had the opportunity to play in all the top amateur events. I played for Scotland from age 11.
Yeah.
So I think that was kind of it for me. And then I went to America at 14 on a golf scholarship.
Okay.
And so I think that was just it. I just knew what my life was going to be about, and I just wanted to pursue golf as my career.
I like it. So a couple of questions in. First one was, what was your handicap at 8 years old?
20.
20, okay.
So my first ever handicap was 20, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. And second question would be then, I completely forgotten what it was. Oh yeah, sorry. You said that you saw golf, because obviously there wasn't many girls playing golf. You saw that as a window for you to get into. In what way did you see that as a window? That there wasn't much competition around, or that you wanted to just enhance women's golf? I mean, at the age of 8, it's obviously a bit hard to understand that, but.
I played a lot with the ladies at the golf club,
mm-hmm.
or the juniors, but the juniors were always usually boys.
Yeah.
So for me, and then having 2 brothers myself, just being around the boys and beating the boys was kind of like my thing,
Yep.
I guess. So I think that really kind of pushed me and enhanced my drive to be better.
No, I like it. Okay. Well, between the ages of 11 and 17, you, I guess you could say you achieved quite a bit. I was reading through it last night thinking, wow, this is a long list of stuff to do in 6 years. And at 11 years old, you were the youngest ladies club champion in Britain. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. I won all 3 club championships that year.
Wow. What did the guys...
All the ladies hated me.
I was going to say, what did the guys think at the golf club?
I think I was that young and I didn't really think about it. I think it's more so now being in more the professional route, and then you having sponsors and people that, follow you on social media and things like that, and you've grown up. I think now you kind of look back and kind of see it all, but at the time I was just doing my thing. I never thought about it. I literally I had to go to my club championship or a club medal, and my only mind thought was I got to play really well, or I got to win, and that's all I thought about when I was that age, I think. So
then obviously, at the age of 11 you was 20 handicap. By the time you got to 11 and won all 3 club championships, what handicap was you then?
I think when I was 11, I was around about 5.
Oh, okay.
5 handicap, yeah. I played, what kind of, I think, put me on the scene was being invited to the British Masters Pro-Am and winning that with Sandy Lyle when I was 12.
Yeah.
And I also remember meeting Ronan Keating for the first time. He was playing as well. And I still have it, actually, just like an autograph piece of paper saying, "Can't believe you play off 4." Lots of love it. Ronan. So,
at the age of 12.
Yeah, and then I think it just, I really quickly progressed from there. So I remember being 13 off +1, actually. Wow.
So that's quite a big transition in 5 years, get down from 20 to +1, which obviously then led you, like you said, to get your scholarship over in America at 14. So did you, how did that experience happen? Did you just go on your own, or did your family go as well, or?
No, I literally got shipped away. Right. It was a big change. It was quite an experience. I spent 2 years over there. I think as well, it made me grow up a lot quicker. And I think that's probably why turning pro at 17 and been traveling the world since made it a little bit easier in some sense.
Yeah. No,
but it's still hard. It's still tough life.
Oh yeah, of course. But at the age of 14, you made your first professional appearance at the Ladies Scottish Open, where you actually managed to finish 13th. Now, obviously, your first professional event at the age of 14. How did that feel for you?
Do you know, I think I was so kind of oblivious to it all, where now I think I look into it a lot more. There's more to it.
Yeah.
But that's me just playing golf. And I also remember the final round, I was playing with Katrina Matthew.
Oh, wow.
Or paired with her, sorry. And, obviously that was whoa, my God, it's Katrina Matthew. And obviously being one of the best Scottish women's golfer to this day. And I ended up beating her.
Oh, did you?
by one shot. So finishing 13th. And I think, these kind of moments stick with you. And I think you sometimes need to look back more and appreciate these little things.
Well, even just those couple of little things, obviously, like you said, put you on the map a little bit, and people started to recognise who you were and what you're capable of.
Yeah, no, and I think that's where, I thank my family for, my dad took me everywhere all over the UK and just made sure I had every opportunity to experience everything. And then at least as well with my older brother, I think being around him and being so good as well, I think that always inspired me to beat him. So I always had that competition and that person to kind of make me better.
Yeah, give you that drive as well.
Yeah.
No, good. Well, following that, you then were rated number one junior in Europe in 2007 because you won the European Junior Masters. You then went and lifted the Scottish under 18 and under 21 titles. In 2018, you became the youngest player to represent Great Britain, Ireland in the Curtis Cup. I could go on. And then to top it all off, at 17, you then became the youngest ever Scottish player to qualify for Ladies European Tour. So, I mean, bit of a whirlwind 6 years, really. How would you sum it all up in at the age of 17?
You know, I think school missed me. I just remember having to like take a lot of time off. And I loved it. I think in some ways, you know, I missed out, and I think I've tried to make up for the kind of lack of like, you know, I went to 4 different high schools in 5 years.
Yeah.
I think I didn't really have that kind of social time as a kid growing up. So I think I've kind of done things the opposite way around now that, you know, I'm a little bit older. But I think any athlete or anyone with an inspiration or a drive to be the best at something in the world, I mean, you have to make sacrifices.
Yeah, of course.
So you gain something, but you lack something. So it's finding the balance as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like I said, every if you want to perform at the best, you need to make those commitments. And unfortunately, sometimes you do make consequences and you do miss out on certain things. But like you said, you can always make up for it in later.
I always remember my dad, you know, at the weekends, and I said, Dad, can I go hang out with my friends, you know, when I was younger, like 10, 11, 12 years old. He said, yeah, well, you do 2 hours practice first and then you can go, you know. So I'm up at 8, like practicing away. So, you know, it's kind of, it was good. It was good.
So would you say then that obviously you're inspired by your brother mainly, but then was your dad more of a driving force and a stickler for routine and making sure you did what you needed to do?
Well, I mean, having a dad as a silver medalist in wrestling. Oh, right,
yes.
Yeah. I mean, he was tough love, put it that way. Just always, you know, always made me want to work hard and very driven. So I think that's what made me probably so successful so young.
Mm-hmm. No, it's good to have that driving force behind you, though, and that support, which is great. Like I said, he was happy to drive you around no matter where to make sure you could follow your dream, which is great.
You can resent. I mean, I did have times where I resented him as well, obviously, but you know, I wouldn't be where I am today without that kind of drive and support from my family.
When you turned 17, you turned pro. What year was that?
I got my tour card December 2009. 2009. And I was still in school.
Yeah, I was going to say,
in my A-levels, yeah.
Wow.
Because I only went there for experience, to be fair, and just to kind of see where I was at. But obviously, I got my card, and I was like, oh, right.
Oh, what do I do now?
That's a problem.
Yeah. So how did your school work? Sort of like you said, it suffered a little bit. In what way did it suffer?
It suffered a lot. And you know, I got my 3 A-levels, which, you know, I'm proud of, but, you know, I think I'd have to disappear for like 2 weeks at a time. And, you know, the teachers would be like, oh, it's great to have you back, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Here's 10 essays, you know.
To be done by next week.
Yeah.
Love it.
So my mum helped a little bit with that.
Good stuff.
So yeah, it was tough. It was my first year on tour was tough. It was definitely a big learning experience for me.
No, definitely. Okay, so you had a couple of years on tour then, just obviously finding your feet, working out how you can balance life and playing on tour, and obviously then getting used to professional life as well, which is obviously not that easy to do. But then come 2012 was kind of your sort of breakthrough year by the looks of it. You managed to win 3 tournaments. We'll start with you managed to win the Denard Ladies Open, which is part of the LET Access Series. But then you got your first European Tour win when you actually went back to the Ladies Scottish Open and won it. And I was reading yesterday as well that you said it was your greatest achievement. So I was wanting to understand why you think it's your greatest achievement.
I think like 2010 and 11, my first 2 years on tour, I think again was a massive learning curve of just the pressure in a sense of, wow, this is my job now.
Yep.
As well as the fact, you've got sponsors and you want to do well for them, and you have then, I think, at that point, social media was becoming a big thing, and you wanted to please the people that were supporting you. So I think I had to learn to not like focus on pleasing others and just focus on myself again.
Okay.
And then my only goal, which I've said this to a few people because they asked me like how did it change? I think I just set my goal of I just want to enjoy golf again, because it became a bit of a chore instead of a passion and something that I love doing.
Okay.
And I think just it was mindset that changed, and it's a difficult sport. We all have our ups and downs.
Yep.
It is very you can't explain it sometimes. Frustrating.
yeah.
But amazing at the same time. So.
Oh, no, 100%. It brings you back, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, so you said that your mindset kind of changed, and you said it was kind of more of a chore than enjoying the game. Did you notice that when you turned pro, or did it just develop over time? Or literally, as soon as you turned pro, you thought, right, this is now a job, and I've got to make sure it works, and that's when you kind of lost the not passion.
Well, when I say a chore, I think it's like you say, I was young. I was really young. I was only 18, 19, and I think I was traveling a lot, and I was on my own a lot. I think it was the whole kind of growing up learning curve. So when I say it was a chore, meaning like you go away and if you're missing cut after cut, it is a bit deflating. And you just want to do so well, but you're then spending all this money to travel and play and do well, and then the results aren't what you want. So I think it was just a big, massive kind of time where I was growing up as well as just experiencing, life on tour.
Yeah. So okay, then obviously leading up to the Ladies Scottish Open, what was your feelings towards that, and then what was your expectations then against what actually transpired?
Well, obviously I won it in Dinard, which was, really had no expectation for that, and I won in the playoffs. So I think that was the big, massive boost I needed to like feel that winning experience again, because it'd been a little while.
Yep.
And then Scottish Open, I actually got an invite for that.
Okay.
Because I didn't retain my tour card. Actually, well, I mean, I had a part tour card, obviously, but just I had to go back to Q school. Okay. And so I got an invite for that, and then I think it was just I was playing good golf and I was enjoying it, and I again didn't have any expectation, but I think you don't go into a tournament without wanting to win. So I mean that's your main goal. And I just had a fun week, and the weather was horrific. And,
but growing up in Scotland, you're used to it, aren't you? So
that's the thing. I think in some ways, and I tell people this a lot, especially like when the weather is worse, I feel like because I'm quite a natural player. Mm-hmm. I didn't really have a coach till I was like 14, 15 until I went to America. Yep. So I'm such a field player. So I think that's where sometimes that actually is an advantage for me. So it was a crazy weather day, the final round of that Scottish Open. But the best feeling was hugging my mom and my brother at the end of it. Yeah. And I think it didn't really sink in until a little bit after. So it was pretty awesome.
No, great. Well, obviously to win your home, I guess, is your home Open, isn't it? So that obviously that brings a lot of pride and achievement. So I can understand why it's your most achievable moment of your life. So well done on that one. And then obviously just after that, then you won the Deutsche Bank Ladies Swiss Open. So to tap off a pretty successful 2012. So what was you going to say?
That one, I remember the week before I was in Slovakia and I finished top 10. But then I remember saying to even myself, I mean, I think I said it to my mom or something, but I said, because I'm 19 and my birthday's the week after Deutsche Bank.
Right, okay.
So I'd love to win one more time before I turn 20. And I actually did it.
No, great.
It's just, I think, like you say, it's a bit of a mindset. I was playing well. I was happy. I think this all really plays a big effect in your game as well.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, yeah. I was reading something the other day, and they said if you're happy off the course, you're happy on the course. So
yeah, definitely.
No, good stuff. Okay, between 2012 and 2019, you didn't get any other wins in until you played at the Top Sport Czech Ladies Open, which was your first victory in 7 years. So between the last win at Deutsche Bank and then that one, what would you say? Is there anything that you can think of that contributed to the time difference in wins? Is it just I don't know, what was the overall factor, do you think?
You know, it still baffles me too in some sense. You know, you think you practice harder and you get worse.
Yep.
So again, massively mindset. And I think just again, it's the journey. You'll see every professional golfer out there. You know, Rory, McIlroy, like. You're not at the top of Jordan Spieth as well. Like,
of course.
You go through this kind of periods in golf and in your life. So it's just a journey you're on, and I think a lot of it you just have to take as experience and learn and grow, and I think that's just all what I did. And I remember going into the one I just won in 2019 Czech, had a friend caddy for me. You know, we just had fun all week, no expectation. We just had a laugh. And I think that's kind of where I'm better, when I'm more relaxed than, constantly going into like, gotta win, gotta do this, gotta.
Yeah.
So I think it's having that balance of just enjoying it, than not letting the pressure get to you.
Well, there seems to be a theme recurring with your wins. I was like you just said, you were having fun, and you said that about the Ladies Scottish Open. You said that about a couple of previous tournaments that you won as well. So yeah, I guess like you said, for you, it's just making sure that you're having fun all the time, and that should bring all the wins in.
Yeah, but it's not always that easy.
No, I'm joking.
Because, I want to do well all the time, and it's obviously that kind of frustrating sport, I guess, when it doesn't go your way. Well,
especially like you said, you've done your shoulders, so you can't do anything for a while. But you said you should be back in. You should be back in ready for May.
Yeah. I mean, I think we've got 2 tournaments on our schedule prior to that, but I'll be hopefully for the rest of the season. And with COVID and everything, you don't really know what's going on, and
of course not.
Quite a tough time for everyone at the moment. So
with that in mind, have you managed to actually set any goals that you want to achieve in 2021, or is it just get back on the course and enjoy as much as you can?
A fully non-painful shoulder.
That's number one, is it?
That's number one. Yeah, just focusing on my rehab, getting myself in a good place, and hopefully having a good 2021.
Now, One Pod Life is brought to you in partnership with Energy Golf, the leading golf development platform. They are committed to providing a service that allows you to reach your maximum potential by improving your mindset, creating physical longevity, and funding your golf career. What they've done is take professional tour team experience and brought it to you through their platform, so you can have your very own tour team in your pocket. Energy Golf offers the ability to learn from leading professionals in the fields of fitness, nutrition, breathing, caddying, psychology, business, as well as proven tour winners and many more. There are also courses based around the mental aspects of golf, such as mental toughness, emotional control, and self-esteem. Visit energy.com to learn more, and to claim your exclusive 1-month free trial, simply send an email with the subject OnePodLife to info@energy.com and enjoy. Now let's get back to the podcast. Okay, so with all the experience you've had from the amateur level, playing on the Curtis Cup, obviously then getting onto the LET, for all, like I said at the beginning of the podcast, the reason I started this was to get advice and tips from people who have been there, done it, and have been successful. So what sort of tips would you give to an aspiring golfer that's trying to make their way through? Maybe they are 8 or 11, maybe they're 27. What sort of tips would you give them and to go forward into their careers?
I mean, part of it is you got to enjoy the journey and understand there's ups and downs, but, don't lose the fun part of it. I think that's when you start to lose the fun part. For me, anyway, it becomes, like you say, more a job than something you're doing because you love it. Just have fun with it. You got to work hard.
Yep.
You got to sacrifice, but I think if you want to be a professional at anything or the best at something, there is sacrifices involved, and just make sure you kind of have a good team around you as well. I think that's important.
Yep.
And just enjoy the process.
No, good stuff. Okay. Well, I'm going to finish off with some hopefully some quick questions, but we'll see how we get on. I've got 3 written down, but we'll see how we go. So my first one is something that I'm quite interested in as well, is when you're preparing for a tournament, what's the one thing that you must do to ensure that you play well? Obviously, we just spoken about making sure it's fun, but then do you have any superstitions that go along with that as well?
Well, I think we all really focus on, pre-shot routine. Mm-hmm. So it's repetitive, I guess you get nervous at times, but having your pre-shot routine, that's kind of your way of helping you through the process. So It's just finding your ways of what works for you and what's best for you to be able to relax more.
Okay.
Because, when you're tense, everything's worse. You can't be tense when you're trying to chip or...
No, of course not.
But so I think it's just finding certain things. Sometimes I have a song in my head. I do have a superstition sometimes about markers.
Okay. What's that then?
I'll change my ball marker if I'm not putting well.
Oh, really?
Which is a bit stupid, but it's kind of something I've always done.
Right, okay.
And then, I know loads of people have kind of a superstition about balls and the number.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, I won my first win at Denard was playing a Nike 3. Okay. So I actually love the number 3 ball.
Right. Okay.
I'm sure a lot of people don't, so it's just what kind of you tell yourself to find ways to, play better, I guess.
Yeah. So is every ball in your bag a number 3 ball then?
No, I play. To be fair, I do play with 1s and 3s.
Right. Okay.
I don't like 2s and 4s.
Don't like 2s. Why not?
Reason. I don't know. I think it's all when I warm up. Like I warm up always with the odd clubs.
Right. Okay.
So I always warm up with like 9-iron, 7-iron, 5-iron. And so I go up in that way. So for some reason, I just kind of have that mind frame of that. I'll never warm up with a 8-iron, 6-iron. So it's a bit. You just get set in your ways, I guess.
I like it. Okay. You recently recorded an advert with Paddy Power, which was actually quite hilarious to watch. I don't know if anyone's seen it, but obviously the guy he's in the pub and he says, "Oh yeah, I could beat it with my eyes closed" or something. And obviously then he messages you reply back, and then you go off and play. How much fun was that to record? And obviously to cut down that stereotype.
It's so true. Like what was filmed is exactly what it's like with typical men and women, but it was so much fun. I felt like when I was filming, I was like, God, I sound really rude. I was like, that doesn't sound like me. No. So it's funny when you can finally see it all pieced together, because obviously it's not how it looks. It takes a long time and it was a long day. So, but I'm so happy with how it turned out. And we had a lot of fun, and everyone I met during the day were awesome to work with. So
how did that come about as well?
Well, prior to that, I went and did a Paddy Power event down south with even Jamie Redknapp and
I remember that, yeah.
Morgan and all that. So it kind of came from that. So we did something about gambling first, and then obviously that was the second one I did.
And that was good
but
fun.
Yeah, no, it's been great to work with so many amazing people.
Yeah, no, it was fun to watch again. And if anybody hasn't watched it, definitely go head over to Carly's Twitter page. That's where I saw it from. It did make me laugh. Okay, and my final question is based around your as on your website it says the famous backflips. Now
Not anymore.
Not for a while. But
not for a while.
But obviously, wherever you go, the backflip comes out, and I don't know. I thought
that's probably why I'm getting a shoulder.
Probably, yeah.
A shoulder
But one of the questions. But I was going to ask. Yeah, what's your record of backflips in a row?
Do you know what? It's not. It just kind of. I get to a point where I start to get a bit dizzy, so then I stop. So I think the most I've done is really like 10.
Right. Okay.
So, or I run out of room. I don't know. Or I get told stop.
Yeah. Stop showing off now, Carly. That's enough.
I know. You're gonna stop asking me to do it though. This is why I'm getting this. But it's good fun. It's nice to be a bit different. I like to have something, different for people to see too. Yeah.
No, definitely. Okay. Look, thank you very much for your time. I'm going to finish off there with that bit. But if you could just finish with sort of the overarching sort of message that you'd like to give to sort of younger golfers that are trying to make their way through. I think I know what it's going to be, but if you could give that, what would it be?
Just like I say, enjoy the journey. Work hard, and just take everything as a learning experience, and make sure you try and find people that inspire you and look up to them, or look for something to keep bringing things to your life that's obviously a positive. So it's not just about the golf or that experience, it's your life journey. So just take it all in. Pretty much.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Well, I hope the shoulder gets better, and you're back in business back at the start of May, where you can then start playing on the tour again. And I hope you can have a good 2021. And thank you for coming on the podcast.
Thank you. You too. You take care.
So again, thanks to Carly Booth coming on the podcast and giving us an insight into what life was like for her before she turned pro. I'm not sure many of you knew about the stats that she pulled out when she was a kid, and hopefully she can start moving forward and progressing a bit more on the European tour. If this is your first time listening to the podcast, thank you very much, but don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any future episodes that I've got coming up. Now, don't forget that you can follow me on Instagram at OnePuttLife. Thank you guys, and speak to you again soon.